everybody. It's Susan Lynn, psychic medium, and today we're going to be talking about messages, some of the messages that I've gotten from people that have crossed over for my clients, because there's some pretty interesting messages that they have, and you don't know what they're going to say, right? When you connect in with your mother or your dad or even your mother-in-law, whoever is over there that really wants to talk to you, we never know what they're going to say, right? So some of the things that I've come across that are just been pretty mind-blowing. I would say the first one was when I very first was accepting this talent or gift or whatever it is you want to call it. I had a very, very good friend whose father had crossed over, and I knew him, but he was a very serious and very stern man. And, just not mean, but just didn't have a lot of extra words for people, right? He just said exactly what he meant and your conversation was over. So here I am in my bathroom and I'm brushing my teeth, getting ready to go to bed, and boom, there he pops in my head. I could see him, in my mind's eye, and he's looking at me with that very stern, very chiseled face, very stern look. And I'm like, hi, brushing my teeth. I'm like, what do you want? Like the weirdest guy of anybody to pop into my head. I have a lot of people that have crossed over. Could have been anybody at that point, really, but it was him. And he kept staring at me. And I really wasn't getting the message. I mean, as I said, he wasn't talkative. And that's another thing. If the people on the other side, their personality is not talkative, they're not going to talk. They're going to be very, they have very few words, right? Brevity is going to be their thing. So this guy was staring at me and staring at me and staring at me. Finally, he got it through to me that I needed to call my best friend, which was her. This was her father, right? And I needed to call her and tell her or ask her about her husband. Apparently, there was something going on with her husband that was very serious. And this guy, her father, was very intent on getting the message. So I called my friend and I'm like, this is really weird. And I know it's a little late, but how is your husband doing? Is he okay? Because I got this picture, your father just popped into my head. And she said, well, it's crazy that you call, but no, he's not doing okay. He went for routine dental work today and they did his blood pressure, and his blood pressure was so high that they suggested he leave the dentist office and go to the ER. Like right now, like we'll even call you an ambulance. Your blood pressure is dangerously high. This guy was in great shape. I mean, he worked out all the time. He ate pretty well. I mean, seriously, he never went to the doctor, never had a problem. So this was news to all of us, right? So she said, I'm really concerned because he didn't go to the ER. He didn't go to the doctor. He didn't even go to like an urgent care doctor. He came home and he's making dinner. I got on the phone with her husband and I told her what I had seen, and we all agreed that her dad was a very serious man and this wouldn't be a prank. This wouldn't be something just, gotcha. No, that's not going to be it. So he agreed to go to the doctor the next day, for real. Went to the doctor the next day. They almost wanted to hospitalize him because apparently blood pressure this high could have ended up in the hospital, or even worse, really and truly dead. So that was a really important and strong and weird message that I got when I first started doing these things. So some other messages that have come through that are a little bit serious, but not as, certainly not life and death. But I had a grandmother come in for a reading and she wanted to talk about her grandson. And her grandson immediately came through, and for whatever reason, he was holding his jersey, his football jersey with his number 63. And I said, I have a young man here that's holding his jersey and it says 63, and he's like shaking it like, I don't know why he was doing that. He could have come in and said, hey, my name is Ryan. But anyway, that's what he was doing. So of course his grandmother was like, my God, that's him. I want to talk to him. How is he doing? And apparently there was something that happened that in his death that was an accident he contended it was really an accident. It was an accident. Please let it go. Move on. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I have my jersey. I go to the games. I see my teammates. I'm fine. But these people that are left behind are not doing okay. They have a lot of guilt, and not to blame anybody. It was my fault, really. If you want to blame anybody, he's like, it's my fault. And it took some convincing for her, right? Because we want to seek a reason. We want to have a reason for why bad things happen. And she was going to pin this reason on somebody. And he came through with this strong energy of, please don't do that. Please don't ostracize my friends. Don't blame my friends. Don't blame these people. It wasn't their fault. It was just as much my fault as anybody's fault, which was really a great message, right? To come through from the other side to kind of exonerate his friends, and then also to give his grandmother the permission to move forward, not be stuck in grief, not be stuck in the blame game. So he came forward with that wonderful message, which has always stuck with me. There's another one that was really interesting. One of my clients came to me, said, need a reading, and we did a psychic reading, and gave her a lot of good information. And then her dad popped in, and I said, hey, your dad is here. This is what he looks like, and this is, and we validated that we were indeed talking to her dad, because you want to make sure that you're talking to the right person and not Joe Schmo who just came in and pretend to be the dad. But the dad was there, and he wanted to tell her that her tire, she had a big problem with a tire. He was all upset about this tire. And she said, no, that's not correct. I got all my tires, brand new tires a couple of weeks ago, because I listened to my intuition, and I just knew I needed to fix my tires. So I already did that. You're probably getting a message that, was supposed to come to me back then, but I fixed it. Well, guess what? 3 days later, she's on the side of the road. One of her new tires had failed, and she needed to call AAA and get a tow. And so she was let me know that her dad was indeed right, as he often was, and that even though she had put 4 new tires on it, it turns out that one of them was bad and it failed. So a lot of times they'll come through with helpful information. They've come through with information like, your windows are leaking, especially that one on the northeast corner. I mean, they're that specific, especially certain kinds of guys that were fix-it guys, and they feel like they left their wives with this big house, and they're just terrified that they're not going to know how to do anything, and therefore the roof is going to cave in. I mean, well, whoever knows, right? But so they come through a lot of times with actual practical advice. As you can see, the stories are amazing and heartfelt and needed and important. I mean, not to mention that sometimes they're just like, yeah, I'm just sitting over here on my Harley and life is good. That comes through too sometimes. They'll show me the exact motorcycle, the color, the pinstripes, the decals, the exhaust pipes, the fork. I don't even know any of this about motor. I'm like, there's a long fork, and there's this design, and and that's what they want to come through with, because for them, that's like, I've made it, right? I am in my happy spot, or they're in nature surrounded by waterfalls, and it looks like, Hawaii or, someplace like that. That's how they let you know, I've made it. I'm in my happy spot. Life is good. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm in a great place. I'm in heaven, right? I'm in the best place possible. And then the last thing is, they often will visit kids. Maybe it's a grandparent thing, I don't know, but they're often with the kids, either the great grandkids or the grandkids, any kind of babies, any kind of toddlers. We all think that kids can see more easily, let's just say spirit anyway. We have, invisible friends and things like that. And often kids will say, I see grandma, and we just go, yeah, sure you do, honey. And, we just give them, a cookie, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, they are more open to that. So your crossed over loved ones are spending time with your kids. They are I see them sitting on the ground, playing with them. So they're at their level. I see them sitting in the chair that you used to rock them and watching them sleep. They're very involved in your life. They really know what's going on, and they really want to help you from the other side, and they do as much as they can. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed these messages from the other side, and if you did, I hope you consider liking the video and subscribing if you want to hear more videos that talk about crossed over loved ones, mediumship, psychic abilities, all those things. I want to get those videos out to you because there's a lot of interest in it, and I know that that some of this stuff is really different and unique, and you know, maybe you'll learn something, or maybe you'll just enjoy them. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.